Ah, perfection. Oh, these tea leaves are just divine. Quite the impressive selection, if I do say so myself.
Lawrence, so this is where you are.
Hello, Cyril. Lured here by the exquisite aroma, were you?
No. I've got a thing for you. It's a letter. Alright, well, don't say I didn't deliver it.
A letter for me, is it? Curious. Let's see what we have here.
So, who's it from?
Hello, Professor. It is a rare correspondence from my father, as it happens. Some difficulty with Acheron, apparently. My father wishes me to return home and settle it.
Acheron?
A young lord whose domain borders my father's. Do you know of the Great Bridge of Myrden? It is an old bridge across the Aramid River, a key crossing between Alliance and Empire territory. Acheron controls the land on the northern side. Controlling such an essential location gives him quite a bit of clout, which he is ever so eager to deploy toward the purpose of stirring up trouble. This time, he is dredging up an old border dispute that was supposed to be settled some time ago. He has even begun to dispatch military force. It is best we rout his troops before they cause any damage to the surrounding villages.
Why does this fall to you, Lawrence?
To my father, Acheron is insignificant in the face of far more pressing political matters. Other houses wield far greater power and influence. Goneril, Ordelia, Edmund, and of course Regan. To make his voice heard at the Round Table conferences, my father must keep up relations with them. That is simply the way the Leicester Alliance works. It was, after all, founded with the goal of freedom from Fargus. We prize that independence highly, even if it occasionally hinders cooperation. There is often talk of mutual aid, but the truth is that each noble acts to maximize personal benefit. At the moment, the Regan dukedom is in no state to keep those conflicting motivations in check. So while the Alliance may appear to be at peace, the reality is that internal conflict is a routine matter. Of course, this leaves me precious little time to sit back and enjoy a cup of tea. Alas, I must be off.
People were wondering if Myrden sounded familiar, and it was the bridge that we'll have to cross before we can get to the grounds.
So it is. So beating this guy into submission is kind of weirdly relevant. Anyway, good luck?
Since you're here, perhaps you would care to accompany me on this little errand? I have no fear of Acheron, but it could be valuable for you to experience these political nuances firsthand. The fate of the Alliance will someday rest upon my shoulders, so it is important to me that those I deal with understand its workings. What say you to broadening your horizons?
Let's go.
Excellent. Let us be away at once. I shall leave the finer details of preparation in your capable hands.
Here's the question. No, I know it.
What's going on?
I was trying
Thank
to
you.
decide which class I should play as.
Thanks. Thanks.
Totally make your main character an adjunct to Lauren's and see what happens.
My thank you so.
Sadly, Lawrence would get his shit kicked in pretty quick. Okay, so here's the question. Can I turn... No. So, no matter what, main character has to come with. That's awkward. Inventory. Reclass X as... Honestly... Axes or sword? Probably hero at this point.
What a strange
I lost my horse. No. Okay, reclass. We gotta reclass Claude. Because he's using the wrong character. Not that it matters too much with these guys.
Time to start over again.
But the more I can get, the better. Okay, so who do we bring along? Units. Question, can Flame heal? That's an interesting question. Oh, you can't heal as a Pegasus Knight. That's weird.
You'd think there'd be more healer units, but...
Yeah, I was hoping there would be more like alt mage character classes, because if you're going melee, you can kind of hop between all of them and you still get about the same, you get about the same growths, whereas like in this one, no. Alright, God. Well, that makes this weird. Anyway, so we've got Dorothy and Ash. Those two are guaranteed. I like Leonie. Bernadetta isn't really...
She doesn't stand out to me too much.
No, she hasn't. I like Claude. He's fallen behind, but I think in a lot of cases, well, yeah. I mean, he does level faster. Cyril is a no matter what. He's amazing.
And isn't Flane's abilities beneficial? The fact that she can heal?
Yeah, Flane's is really good. Lily's Poise. Adjacent allies take 3 less damage during combat. So anybody next to her just can tank. I like Lysithea. She hasn't mastered Mage yet.
He does have the double crests.
Because Lysithea was pretty strong. I like Hilda. My one problem with Flane is I'd like to... Well, You know what? No. Here's what we're going to do. Set adjunct. Flane. There we go. Oh, right. I can have 2 adjuncts. Who has the other adjunct? Okay, so... Lysithea is currently on Lauren's. Not terrible. I want to bring her... We should probably bring Claude no matter what. Just because... Who else do we have? Because, like, what's he have? 5 extra damage when no battalion is assigned. It's actually really good. Crit when the enemy is below a certain level. Lady Knight. Might hit with Gambit, so she's good with battalions. It's okay. Let's see. Because how many healers do I have? I've got Dorothea, who's a caster more than a healer, and like Mercedes, who is an absolute healer.
Who are you choosing between?
I'm just trying to decide, do I want to bring Raphael along? He's level 19 already, so he's not really hurting for EXP. Whereas... Marianne ain't terrible, but her ability is kind of situational. You're saying adjutant? It's adjunct, I believe. I believe that's...
Aren't you bringing Flane with you?
Yeah, I just stuck Flane on X. That'll power level her through Pegasus Knight pretty quick. Because what I was probably going to do is actually just take his weapon off and just let him tank hits for a while. I guess, you know what? I'm just gonna set... Oh, that's why I'm having trouble, because we're being forced to bring Lorenz along. Anyway, I'm just gonna stick Marianne on Hilda. I think. Because that'll be good. Hilda could use some EXP. Maybe? I guess she already mastered quite a lot. Hilda's pretty dumb broken. What? Oh, right. Adjacent male units do more. What house is this? Yes. Alright. Fight! Begin the battle.
Far more enemies than I expected. I am glad you decided to come with us, Professor.
Oh? And here I thought Count Gloucester would be too busy to send his soldiers here. Ah, well, it doesn't matter. I'll just have to deal with you little meddlers swiftly and decisively.
That is Acheron. If we can deal with him, that ought to scare the rest of these rats off. We need not actually kill him. So long as we cut his escape off convincingly enough, that should suffice.
But... okay, Acheron's forces will try and seize as much territory as they can. Be careful not to let them capture your defended location.
Incidentally, take note of those drawbridges. They can only be operated from one of the banks. We may be able to use that to our advantage.
Okay, good. We do have... okay, so is that... what is the defended location?
I think
That?
it might be the castle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is decently high level here? Because they said don't let him take the... well, I mean,
Stay
ultimately...
focused.
the real answer...
Don't let him
Where's
take
the
the
most
castle,
amount of
but
enemies?
cut off his
There's the
escape.
most amount of enemies. So I'm just gonna send dude out this way without the sword. Good luck, dude. I believe in you.
Ready and willing.
I guess Claude actually does do quite a lot of damage with this axe. I'm not giving him nearly enough respect. Like, he's a pretty good bruiser. He just
Never
lacks the
underestimate
defense
an
stat that I look for.
Here we go.
Where's Ash? There's
I'll
Ash.
give it my all.
And I like Ash. He's pretty solid. Also, having a character that can just unlock everything is amazing.
Doing my part.
Yeah, they said... you know
I
what?
stand ready.
Hey, Lorenz, you're just gonna stand there. Good luck.
me?
I believe in you. I had somebody passionately disagree with me that he said
Sorry.
all Fire Emblem fans agree that this is the worst soundtrack they've had in a Fire Emblem game. I'm pretty
That's
sure
my
they are
cue.
distinctly wrong. I could be wrong,
Well,
but I'm really liking this soundtrack.
Ready
I'd
when
really
you
have
are.
to hear the other ones. Because in a way,
Let's get to it.
music is so multifaceted. Because this, yes, it sounds
Leave it to
triumphant. There seems to be an overarching melody, but I don't know how memorable it will be.
I've had the main theme for this stuck in my head for like a while.
There's a which one is it?
The anime one?
What you mean the dun dun?
And among the strong ones, that's for sure.
dun.
Clearly, I've got to go back and listen to some of the other Fire Emblems. Because from my perspective, I've
But
really enjoyed...
the thing is, what I don't like about this particular battle music is it sounds very hand.
Maybe.
You have the you have the strings like
crap.
that. You have the bum ba-dum ba-dum bum bum dum bum. You have the drums going like that, and then you have the of the horns and the so it's just this particular track sounds generic
It's
to
not
me
luck, it's fate.
as a battle theme.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
not done yet.
I should go through and find my favorites.
What I like are the odd ones, the Sothis thing.
Yeah,
With
the
the
Sothis
chanting.
one's pretty good.
The fight continues.
And I even like the cathedral music a little bit.
Pure grit.
And you see, there was the start of a
celebrate
da-na-na-na, a violin, but then it
Just like
stops
that.
short before. Oh, here it is again.
See, I really like this
Ah.
section.
Oh, where it switches genres and goes into an electronic synth.
Yeah, for just a bit, and then it goes back.
Right, but I wish there was more of a violin theme, but the violin does a couple notes and then it stops in its tracks.
Yeah, it doesn't stick to anything for too long, which is kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, getting the hang of it.
It seems disjointed.
Huh. Yeah, that's, I think, a fair assessment. Oh, wait, that's Marianne. Never mind. Anybody wounded? Yeah. You. Oh, she learned Restore. That's good.
And perhaps
Thunder will
it's
take him out.
because it also recently coming from a game.
Winning's always
I was recording Heaven's Vault for a long time, and that had beautiful music. You can remember so many melodies, and a lot of it was strings, but there was also some piano here and there, and it's just,
I'm still not.
it was complex in its
Pegasus riders. I should be
composition, but
worried
it
about that.
was simple in the number of instruments. And
Oh,
wait, did she die?
yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, right. I have enemy turns turned off.
So that's why you didn't even know that she went down. Wait, what games have the best soundtrack, in your opinion? Ooh.
That's an interesting question.
I-
This guy
The only game
destroyed
soundtracks that I own
makes sense.
are games from the Myst series. And when it comes to the Myst series, the first and the second games had music composed by one of the two Miller brothers who
Let's keep
made the game, concepted the game out initially. Robin Miller, he composed the music, and there was a marked difference between the first game and the second game because it was all synthesizers still, but the second game was far more polished. Well, the second game, Riven's soundtrack was far more polished than the first. That is the one soundtrack I can listen to start to end and be able to fall asleep to. It is so calming, but it's much of Myst is all ambiance for the most
I
part.
stand ready.
It's something that you're just supposed to immerse yourself in another world while calmly reading journals and contemplating puzzles and experiencing,
That's my cue.
well, fiddling with machinery in these amazing environments. So it can't be
Take me seriously.
boisterous, it can't be over the top. I
All
mean,
roses have
in the later
thorns.
games, they did have more cinematics with harrowing events
I'm
taking
counting
place, so
on
you
you.
would have something more upbeat and exciting. But there's just, they had
Gotta do what you
these
gotta do.
eerie instruments and voices and such, and it's just wonderful to listen to. The third and the fourth game had music by Jack Wall. We actually saw Jack Wall at
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Maybe I'm not
PAX.
out for this.
Ooh, ouch. Losing guys all over the place. I think you've underestimated your opponent.
That one dude, I
So-
think, crit him?
And and Jack Wall also composed the music for the Mass Effect 1. I don't know about 2 or 3, but definitely Mass Effect 1. And he has really amazing scores with
Far
very
more enemies
strong
than I
melodies,
expected.
I would say.
Oh,
And also a
That
multitude of
we need
instruments.
to... Incidentally, we
So I really like his work
Stay
on the
focused.
Myst series as well. I believe Larkin worked on Uru and 5, Myst 5, and they had some pretty music too, but I think it had gone back to, I don't want to say it went back completely to the synthesizers and stuff. I could tell the production value was higher for 3 and 4,
Who, me?
but really it's just, Wander, I
Let's
know
get to it.
who your favorite composer is. Isn't it the guy that did Journey and...
So, no.
No?
Nope.
Not Wintry?
I like him.
Wintry?
Yeah. I like Austin Wintry. I think as a person, he's one of my favorites, but as a composer, I'm not so sure.
Well, they were asking specifically for games.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So, as far as games that I really remember the soundtrack years later, The Hymn of the Faith from Final Fantasy X. Years later, I could still go back to that, no problem, and remember the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever this guy has, Iron Lance. Something about this dude is obscenely powerful. Because his strength is damn high.
Look at his
yeah.
abilities.
He's just a Pegasus Knight. Oh, because he's got Lance Fair. That's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is also I haven't been power leveling a lot of my guys, and I don't really have a whole lot of my bruisers here. So this is probably fine. What about the Octopath Traveler soundtrack? It had some good notes, but I don't remember any particularly amazing ones.
It was a
I have
good
to
try.
think of
Ooh.
a game whose soundtrack sticks with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit down and actually
when
think
you
about
are.
that. Kind of hard.
Well, what are the soundtracks that you own personally that you've went out of your way to purchase? Because that's what I was basing mine on. The only soundtracks that I've gone out of my way to purchase have been...
I've gone out of my way to pick up a number of...
I also really do like World of Warcraft's music, and I also really like Guild Wars 2's music. But when you're playing MMOs, you get attached to it because you have your starting areas and you're being introduced to this new realm, and it's... yeah, they have good music too. But I would still have to stand by Myst, the Myst series.
Yeah, Supergiant does pretty good soundtrack. Hades is a really good soundtrack. Bastion's really good.
Pyre.
Yeah, Pyre.
Transistor to an extent too. They always have a different style for each game, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
That's my
And there's still similar notes here and there.
They have music with lyrics too, which is, I think, unique for games. Another memorable series for music would be The Legend of Zelda. There are themes that will always stay with you, and so too with
I feel
Ocarina of
stronger.
Time. Music was a component of playing the game, so of course you remember those melodies as well. Which makes all the sense that they made that tie-in with Cadence of Hyrule.
Yeah, Cadence of Hyrule is real good.
Because that way you do dun 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 dun, and you had never heard the Gerudo theme before, but dun 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 dun.
I'll give it my all.
I think I had heard it. In fact, I've absolutely heard it, but the way it came out in Cadence of Hyrule was... It was like it was a completely different song. I don't know
And
how to
Twilight
describe
Princess was a good remix of a number of Ocarina of Time songs, and then they added a lot of new soundtracks that were also quite beautiful.
Guess I'm pretty strong.
Yeah, sorry. I like Myst music. I like Legend of Zelda music. Other game music. As I said, the MMOs that I played. Particularly World of Warcraft and Guild Wars 2.
Huh. Same result. Interesting.
Here we go.
Okay. Question. If she goes right here, I don't think she's within range of that really jerkish Pegasus. Does put Claude within range, but his defense is better, so hopefully Claude lives through it.
Oh, people are mentioning Journey when floating about in the desert. Yeah, when Wander and I played Journey together recently again, I was able to chain all of the little, you call them the carpet friends.
Yeah.
But when the music rose and you acquired the last of them and they all journeyed as a large group across the desert, I was able to keep myself aloft much of the way. And it was just gorgeous. Such a pretty game. And you said that they made the game around the music.
Yeah.
As opposed
they
to...
used Austin Wintry as the primary concept artist, which is really interesting. Because effectively, they'd tell him, like, here's kind of where we want to go. Here's, like, the idea of the place.
Oh, a crit.
Yep. But yeah, here's the concept of the place. Here's the idea of where you're going. Okay, good. He does damage, but he doesn't one-shot Claude. That's all I really needed. Note to self, get beefier units. What? No! X, when did you pull out a sword? No, put it away! You monster!
I am maturing at a rapid pace.
Oh, the beast has been unleashed. Oh, it's probably because we were messing with the convoy, maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Let's see.
Ooh. I thought of another series I absolutely love for music. For sci-fi music, love the Metroid Prime series.
Metroid Prime had some really good ones.
Metroid Prime has amazing music. What really... I had always enjoyed playing as Samus in Super Smash Brothers games. And I'd never played a Metroid game in my life. And I remember that we'd gotten the Wii. I'd only had the Nintendo 64 game prior, and I don't believe there was a Metroid game released on the Nintendo 64. So, and unfortunately, we skipped the GameCube, so I missed out on Metroid Prime 1 and 2. So I remember when originally Metroid Prime 3 came out, it was only on the Wii. Well, of course it was only ever on the Wii, but Metroid Prime 1 and 2 weren't packaged with it. They didn't do that until later, and I got the special edition for that after the fact. But I picked up Metroid Prime 3 when we got the Wii, and I remember the title screen for Metroid Prime 3 gave me goosebumps. Like all the hairs rising on end on my arms. And I think it's because Metroid Prime music, it's a mixture of a lot of synthetic stuff and then traditional instruments and then also chorus. But the chorus is never natural sounding.
Yeah.
It sounds eerie and...
I think... Wow. That is some stats. I think that's actually a huge thing for me with music. I actually really like violin, yeah. Chorus. When handled well, if you have a really good choral element, it can be absolutely phenomenal. So, Halo. The main thing for Halo is amazing. I think, in general, the Halo series has had some of the best music I've ever heard. Just the fact that it's not just generic.
Ooh, have you found
Well,
something
also-
nice? Go ahead and hand it over.
What I thought was interesting about the Halo music choruses, most of the choruses I had ever heard
Do not allow them to escape.
in games had been choruses that were mixed or mostly female. And what was cool about the Halo theme was, didn't it start off with the male chorus?
Yeah.
Gotta use
Well,
your head
that's...
sometime.
I also really liked that about, yeah, Halo and Metroid Prime, I think, both.
Metroid Prime had mixes because a lot of
Yeah.
it was really high-pitched synthetic female voices too. But Metroid Prime 2
Die
the theme
Thief.
definitely had the
105 damage. That's not even fair.
Yeah. But no, just really eerie music on the part of the chorus, and Metroid Prime games have awesome music. Wander laments the fact that they haven't really released a soundtrack without all the little sound bites.
Yeah, I have the
Mixed
Metroid
into
Prime
it.
soundtrack, but like all of them, the problem is it also has like the "you got an item," which is just like, it's not bad, it's just lame.
Doing my part.
Let's see, what do I feed? What, X? Souls. Yeah, there was a Pegasus there. Not anymore. Oh,
Yeah.
right, she can't do anything.
Yeah, I absolutely love the Metroid Prime games, and really that beginning theme really clinched me. So music is powerful. It defines an experience in some cases. And this, it's just because it's background music, it's not.
Yeah,
It's not
because
really-
it's meant to be repetitive as opposed to spot location.
That worked out.
No, that's a good point. Okay, what are songs from games that, if you remember, songs from games that you just did not like? It really didn't take.
Games that had. Well, I suppose
On the move. Do not let them through.
it depends on how it's implemented too. But I remember one thing I didn't like about Guild Wars 2, even though I praised its music, is that there'd be these beautiful ambient soundtracks for the zones or the regions that you were in that
Oh
set a
yeah, but
mood.
the moment you got
But
into
the moment
battle,
you got into combat, it would go dun 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 dun, and it was the same music on repeat over and over again until you got out of combat. At that point, I just didn't want to ever enter combat again. Oh, what were other things? There have definitely been some games that we've played where there's too much synthetic stuff or there's too many
That's how it
drums.
goes.
But I can't for the life of me think of a particular track or a game that had awful music. But yeah, we forgot about good music. I mean, yeah, a lot of Pokemon music is fun. But I don't remember much of the Pokemon music from the later games, unless they were just rehashes of the original themes.
the Pokemon fight music is something you can remember. That's because it is slammed into your skull in every game forever. I absolutely hate the Pokemon battle theme, even if there's some really good iterations of it. And like, I know the certain bosses and like gym leaders would remix it, but it's the same song I've been hearing for 20 years. It's
Really, at this point, it's... I don't want to say it's going to take a miracle to get me to play through an entire Pokemon game
well,
that isn't
I mean, the
co-op
miracle
again.
is sort of because it's coming out on the Switch. We're going to be playing it.
Right, but the last... After X and Y, I played a little bit of Sapphire, the new Sapphire. Just didn't appeal to me as much as X had. And then Sun and Moon came out, and I was starting to play Moon, but we stopped partway through because it just... I mean, at that time, we were full into your YouTube career, so playing handheld games wasn't really conducive to your business because we couldn't record it. But it was just the same formula that I've had for
Yeah.
the last 20 years.
I really liked Let's Go Eevee. If they made more of that, I'd be happy. The mainline Pokemon games don't excite me because it's just the same game that it's always been with mild variations. And it's like, I get that, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But, like, it's weird when I'm so jazzed for, like, all of the Pokemon clones coming out in the actual Pokemon game.
That's not good.
Oh wow, his defense.
Right,
is
because now there are
garbage.
Pokemon clones that are coming up with new systems of combat, co-op, with online multiplayer, dungeon crawling.
Yeah. I mean, there's a straight up like Metroidvania Pokemon clone. I mean, not a Pokemon clone exactly, but still. And for me, that sort of thing is actually really exciting.
Oh, someone mentioned the 10th line. We started playing the 10th line. I'm glaring at you right now. I wanted to see the rest of that story.
I mean...
That was with the dragon guy. And...
I'm not
the
actually,
eclectic
like,
cast of
immediately against playing more of it.
characters. But yes. A lot of glorious music out there. But at this point we've been listening to this battle theme for a long time and I still can't sing out the melody, nor do I want to. In part we've been talking over it the whole time, but it's the kind of thing that can grow tiresome. So, I suppose since I was distracted by the topic of music, since that was a question posited by the chat, what have you managed to accomplish? Have you
So I got my
routed him?
face handed to me a couple of times, so... I've been working on
You lost to me?
redoing this in a much more safe manner.
Mm-hmm.
Because effectively, these enemies are by far, like, a lot harder than all the other ones I've been fighting so far, and maybe it's a good reason for me to start, like, leveling my characters instead of just pooping around for a while. So that's what I've accomplished. Let's see. But yeah, so effectively the enemy is supposed to be, like, charging your position, and I am charging theirs, like, full stop. Which I think that's part of it. I'm supposed to be playing defensively here, and I'm just like, no, no such thing.
But is it because finally their level is starting to match
They're
yours,
level
or-
13. Most of my characters are 15 to 20, but their equipment's getting better, and their damage is getting better.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got it now.
Wait, Metroidvania Monster Collection? Yeah, it's called... Monster Sanctuary, that's what it is.
Oh.
Let's see, who needs the EXP? None of them. So, Claude. Kick his teeth in. Bango.
Sorry, but victory is mine. I expected as much.
Yeah, Claude's actually pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Get him up.
Thanks so much.
Ooh, that's one. Undertale's music. And Deltarune in a similar vein.
Mm-hmm. Was it all BitTune?
Chiptune, you mean?
Chiptune.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was it definitely had Bloopy, but like I've never seen a more remixable game, I think. And part of it is I mean a lot of it is because Toby Fox himself is a wonderful musician. Like he did a lot of music very specifically for Homestuck.
Mm-hmm.
That'll work. Boom.
Thinking about having a MIDI controller, and I should eventually learn how to mix my own songs together, because I do write music, but I've never actually written them down. They're all
Nope.
committed to memory and...
I
Whoa!
skipped that.
That was quite the dodge.
He's like, who are you?
It all comes down to this.
Anyway.
Whoa, explosives?
Yeah. They missed.
Missed?
They missed.
With a giant explosive barrel?
Yep.
Ah.
Hit me. Alright. Ash, stand back. If they start charging these guys, I'll whoop them. Should be fine. Okay, can you just... Yep. Boop. Yeah, she's actually starting to take damage now. But then
Did I
again,
hurt you?
I haven't been using her as much as I should have been. Maybe kind of, sort of. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
An interesting game that we played music-wise was, what was it, Karma Flow?
Yeah, Karma Flow is interesting. It had some okay songs. It had some not great songs. The problem is the gameplay wasn't good.
Mm-hmm. Karma Flow was a rock opera,
Yeah.
which is a unique genre in and of itself.
Holy crap, somebody did damage to me. When does that happen? Oh,
So the characters would break out into
it's
song.
doing a lot of damage to me.
What instrument do I play, people ask. I play anything I can get my hands on, essentially. I grew up with pianos always being in my family members' households and eventually my parents. But we also had, well, everyone in my school district was required to learn how to play recorder.
You were wide open.
I eventually got an alto and a soprano one. But then I also have a couple ocarinas, a pan flute, and then I did take violin for several years. And I had my great-great-grandfather's violin. I was always very proud of the fact that I was able to have a family heirloom as an instrument. And then your parents gave me a harp, except that's at my parents'
Yep.
right now.
At some point we can maybe ship it up here.
Well, we also need to restring it because a number of strings had broken.
That was tough.
But when it comes to composing music, I prefer to do so on a piano. Just because with a piano, you can manipulate...
Some good-for-nothing inherited this territory. I guess that's you, then.
Who do you think you are? I'm not a good for nothing. You are.
If you were actually good for anything at all, I'd at least expect you to recognize who I am.
Well, that's cute. Bonus dialogue for Claude.
Ooh, nice. That was quite the scream.
Wait, I lose. I give up. I surrender. Please don't kill me.
You have my thanks, Professor. Please go on ahead. I will clean up here and then report to my father. See you back at the monastery.
Yay.
Yeah, the reason why I like using the piano to compose music is because you can create harmonies with, you know, one hand plays the melody, a hand plays a harmony or bass chords and such. And also everything is laid out for you in a
Your
row.
assistance in this incident with Acheron has proved most essential. Consider me in your debt. Thanks to you, the Alliance was able to nip this internal conflict in the bud.
What'll become of Acheron?
He has written a pledge to my father, swearing never to cause trouble about the border again. Of course, he is hardly the type to bind himself in good faith to anything written on paper. But Acheron has many connections, both in the Alliance and in the Empire. To remove him entirely would cause more conflict. We will just have to watch him closely for now.
That is a prudent decision.
Indeed. I do plan to eliminate him eventually, however. He is nothing but trouble. Incidentally, there was one other benefit to embarking upon this errand. Have a look at this. The magic staff Thyrsus, a relic passed down through House Gloucester for generations. It seems my father has finally recognized my ability. Apparently, he had been considering entrusting this relic to me for some time. He has had precious few opportunities to take to the field of battle personally of late. Doubtless, by giving this to me, he intends to send the message that I must work even harder. I will certainly continue to do my utmost, but I am by no means completely subservient to his will.
Wander, finish that now. That was way too loud. What
Really
happened?
crunchy pita chip. Didn't get on the mic though.
Well, in
Anyway.
any case, so he has a mystical staff, or one of the
Yeah,
relics.
he got one of the relics.
Isis or whatever its name was.
Is all not well between you two? More father issues?
More father issues?
I would not go so far as that, but my father seldom thinks beyond the immediate benefit of our house.
Yeah.
While that is important, I prefer to consider the greater good when I make decisions. I believe that is a noble's duty. Now, for the time being, may I trust you to decide how we may best make use of Thyrsus? For the moment, I think you are in the best position to apply it to the betterment of all Fódlan.
Are you sure?
Wait, what?
To be quite honest, I am not certain I feel ready to decide the fate of a relic on my own just yet. Do me this favor, Professor, and I will be grateful. Now, to celebrate, allow me to treat you to tea.
Wait a minute.
And it goes in the bin with
Thank
the other relics. I think I only have one.
I thought that only people harboring the crest of the particular line, like genealogical line of the original wielders of the relics, would be able to wield it. So realistically, wouldn't he be
Maybe
the only
not
one
all
to
of them
carry
are
it?
astringent. You might just have to have a crest. Or, honestly,
The special crest. The crest is supposed to be what allows you to use it. Unless there's someone that shares a crest with Lorenz. Wasn't it Lysithia?
okay.
Because look at Lorenz. Can you?
Oh, Eunice, Lorenz. What about him?
Look at his crest. And then look at Lysithia.
Yeah. Yeah, Lysithia has the House Gloucester.
And it's interesting because Lorenz had it as a minor, but notice that she just has it outright.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that weird?
Oh.
Look at that. Crest of Gloucester, and then look at the one next to it. It should be
She was born the eldest daughter of House Ordelia, caught in House Herm's revolt, and suffers imperial intervention.
Right, but look at her crest, the second one. So minor crest of Karen, or Sharon, however they pronounce it. But then look at Lorenz. He has a minor crest of Gloucester.
Yeah.
So notice that means that Lysithia has a major crest of Gloucester.
But that doesn't mean that she's an heir, just that she is a relative.
Right, but it means that she might have more claim to the relic than he does by blood.
Okay. Trying to decide. Do I use this as turbo training for X?
Oh yes, and yeah, we had talked about it. Her having Catherine's minor crest.
Do I turbo train X up another class and flame some business? Might not be a terrible idea. Oh. No, probably not. Grab flame. This music is pretty catchy. You're right about that. Okay. We want Mercedes. And Marianne's okay. I'm still looking for a good follow-up. Felix wouldn't be a terrible idea.
But do you know what's weird about this music? At least that whole section back there. And even some parts of this, it almost sounds like elevator or phone music when you're waiting for a response from a receptionist.
Maybe? Where you X. She should not be on the front line. And he should be about as far forward as I can make him on one of these. Okay, there we go. We're getting battle.
And you see now we go to
Stay focused.
the actual battle music.
X. Gonna not do anything. Okay, so what are the dangers here? Danger
Ready
areas?
and willing.
I'm gonna turtle really hard here, I think. This should be fine.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. There was one phone company, I forget which one, but it had the most awesome holding music. It was this really weird, ethereal, electronic stuff. And I can't figure out the tune now. But it was beautiful. I should have found some means to record it. But the problem is I was on my phone, so I couldn't record it.
Who, me?
We have some other... Yeah, we have some other axes. She's running out of axes.
I'm all sweaty. That's my cue.
Or on. Oh, okay. What the?
What?
Hi.
Oh,
I...
what are per units?
Lack of personal space, man. Yeah. It must be part of her battalion, but he was a little huggy.
Ready when you are.
So what battle is this?
This is one of the side quests. So these are monastery soldiers.
Okay.
We're doing a training skirmish with them. But that, I mean, we are just going to more or less let people beat on X and occasionally come to go fight the rest of the group. Because I'd like to get X to max out the hero class, maybe. But yeah, so it's just a side training mission. But it was one of the quests, so I figured I'd get it done. I don't want to do multiple paralogs at once, even though, like, I'm sure we'll get more and I'll have to start focusing on them. It's just paralogs tend to take a lot longer. Or on Bango. She's an absolute cannon of a human
Did you put the
human
speed
being.
up for something?
What was that?
Did you put the speed up for the battles
If
or
I hold the
something?
button, it goes faster.
I see. I was wondering why their animations are progressing so swiftly.
That's what you get.
Since it's not an important battle, I figured I could just get away with it. Wait, can you escape? No, you can't. Well, stand there and let them beat you. They seem pretty content to just, like, smack him around for a little while. I guess having a totally unarmed character really is an inviting target. Let's see, who needs EXP in this group?
Leave it to me.
Scythia could use it. Swarm. So we might as well use kind of anything. Could switch to Nosferatu for just training
Of course
faith.
I won.
Might not be a terrible idea considering.
Here we go.
And Mercedes actually does need to heal a bit more. Okay. Anyway, seeing as it's getting a little bit late, I was thinking we'd finish the story chapter.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I really want to do the Battle of the Three Houses. Like, I mean, I've been prepping for this entire game by poaching everyone.
Mm-hmm. Plus, who knows what might occur there. Unless it's really just a see who wins and who loses. And
It would be nice to have one not dramatic chapter, but...
Mm-hmm. I don't believe it would occur, but it could be one of those situations where the three of them are duking it out, and when half the students are down and out of the fight, the Death Knight approaches with his men, and they try to take Flame again, or
Have to try.
people with rare crests or something, I don't know, while they're already down.
It was a good try.
It results in people teaming up for a battle against them, but nah, it might just play out as normal.
I mean, the other
We
hilarious...
can't have something suspicious happening every single time. What?
People are pointing out, X is just going to charge alone in the battle and kick the crap out of all three
Don't expect
houses
Much more than that.
and announce himself the second coming of Nemesis. That would be hilarious, but... Oh, let's see. Let's send back the broken iron axe. So we actually could use that. I mean, it would be pretty funny if you could just straight up say, "No, I'm gonna solo all of you. Come at me."
Okay.
Obviously, this is one of those.
Winners
This is
always
not like a
wins.
bad isekai novel, so
relentless.
that ain't gonna happen. But boy, would it be funny. Rally, you.
Apologies.
Bonus strength to Lysithia. Why? I don't know. Because I can.
Oop. Oh, blue roofs are a different touch.
I'll give
What
it my
roofs?
all.
How the rooftops are blue-green rather than a orange like you would usually see.
Oh yeah. There they come. And they're still going for the unarmed wonder. You fools. It is a waste of time. You cannot hurt him. He's not been harmed since actually last mission. But still.
It's interesting, I was looking up Wanderbots, and I noticed that Wanderbot was something that came up, and I'm going, oh yeah, people sometimes call you Wanderbot. I look it up, and do you remember that Robots movie that came out in, what was it, 2005 or something?
Yeah.
The little invention that Rodney, the main character, created was called Wanderbot.
No hard feelings.
And it had a very interesting cast of characters. I think Halle Berry was there. There was Robin Williams. Ewan McGregor played the main character. Oh, there's so many
Sorry,
actors.
the
I
victory
can't
is
name them
mine.
all.
Progress suits me
It was
well.
a cute movie. For like a non-Pixar,
I see.
non-Disney
It's all making sense now.
animated film. It was interesting. Just about a robot society.
I remember enjoying it as a movie. I don't remember much about it. I
must
remember
steel
the villain was just like a corporate goon, like a corporate
I'm
bigwig
starting to see
goon.
results.
Ooh, that's some nice growth. Healing for everybody. He is way too slow. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Are they? Okay, they get a little bit of... I was kind of hoping I could max out the hero class for X, but that's going to just take too long. Well, it's not going to take too long.
I think what I remember of robots was Rodney was was he an inventor? And he wanted to go to the big city and get out of being alone with his father in a more remote area so that he could present his inventions to the big corporate entities and have his idea made. Except then he finds out about the terrible underbelly and how cruel the hierarchy
Or did they
of their
straight up like
society
steal
were.
his idea?
I don't know. It's been a long time. But I know that he eventually befriends the people that live in the underbelly who want to rebel and expose the villain, who's the corporate guy, for what he really is and what he's doing to other robots.
It's not
Because wasn't
luck,
there
it's
something about
fate.
people being dismantled for scrap parts or...
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. There was like a weird horror death pit.
Mm-hmm. With that really creepy lady, the really gravelly voiced one that was running it, who I think I actually read was voiced by a man.
Of course. Enemy reinforcements may sometimes approach from strongholds and stairs. Yay. Alright, now it's time to kick the snot out of some snotty students. I'm really curious how this cutscene's gonna go.
The end of the War of the Eagle and Lion is today. There's a special dish in the dining hall. Partake in the festivities?
Yes?
Wait,
I don't think I missed it.
did you miss the events?
This is delicious! My absolute favorite!
I would be liking that greatly.
Is this the war?
Thank you
Are
so
we
much.
doing it? Wander, stop chewing so close to...
Oh yeah, mission. Okay, we're good.
Okay, good.
So my level 20 characters can become an advanced class, but only if they have the right stuff for it. Wow. That kind of sucks. I guess he needs bow A to get up there. I guess I'll sideline some of these characters until they can get up there. Hey Hilda. How do you feel about being Chungus?
A fortress knight.
Yes.
At least that armor looks better than the old set.
Yeah.
Even if it is still chunky. Really, I'm just liking the sort of rose gold and pink color scheme.
Oh, wow.
Aw, shucks. I guess I did it.
Her resistance went up, which is actually really, really good because her resistance sucked. At least until recently. Let's take a look at this. So Wyvern Rider, the chances of that are pretty low.
Mm-mm.
Sniper,
Eh,
also still pretty low. Guess they actually need some training. That's probably fine. I'll just keep chucking him at it. I mean, chances are we're not really supposed to have a whole lot of advanced classes by this point anyway. Marketplace. Before the month is over, are there any intermediate seals sitting around? No. And there's nothing else that we really need to worry about. I guess while we're here... Let's see.
Now, what's the difference between the mage and the dark mage? I know that the priest is healing, but is the mage elemental and the dark mage sort of like negative shadow energy buffs, debuffs or something? I don't
know. Oh, we have some support conversations. We'll save those. Oh, no, we shouldn't save those for later.
No, I thought you had to do them.
Yeah, the sooner we do them, the better. Okay, so let's quick do certifications. Let us make dude a mage?
If he can pass.
69% chance.
Well, he's doing the little musical notes, so he looks fine.
So dweeby when he does that, he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
A new path to church.
No. Okay. I mean, we could save scum real hard with Claude here. Do we wanna maximum save scum for a bit?
For what?
Making Claude into something he shouldn't be yet?
You mean the thing that's only a
What do we think?
shy of 50% chance?
Wyvern Rider, Axe Flying, or Sniper?
I mean, probably Wyvern Rider. That looks pretty cool.
This?
Unless you wanted to keep him as a bow user, but that's it.
People are saying
Disney
Wyvern
logo.
Rider. Go for it.
Oh, we're seeing a failure.
Sad fail. Never mind. No failures. I am magical and have pizza chip. I am hungry. I like... When I'm eating pita chips, I actually really like the small, like, really thin pieces.
Well, yeah, those chips are very uneven. There are some that are really thick and crunchy, and then there are some that are really thin and crispy. The thin ones are far easier to eat.
Alright, Dragon Boy. Let's try this again.
Nope. I think it's too low.
I wonder if it's...
It could be one of those things where you have to
Yeah,
have
it
above
might actually
50.
be predetermined. Not 100% sure, but the percent chance at the start of the... is it set at the start of the day. I think it's the same way as stat growths, actually, because I noticed Marianne was getting...
Oh, so it doesn't matter. It's not.
Alright, we'll just try it
RNG
again
every time
next
you do
week
it.
with him. It's not that big of a deal. Let's see. So there's no other, like, major certifications we want to care about, because we don't have any Dark Seals. Those are right out.
Nah, not until you defeat that Death Knight.
Okay. Mission!
Woo!
Battle of the Eagle and Lion. I could actually do another battle, but it won't let me.